Hello, and welcome to your post Libra super new moon video. So, the super new moon was on the 16th of October 2020 in Libra, and I am a Libra, and I celebrated my birthday with this super new moon. And in the beginning of the month, I did do things a little bit differently, in a sense where I pulled manifestation cards for each zodiac. Yes, and each zodiac just got a manifestation on what they should focus on throughout the month. And one of the things that was for Libra was to rest. So, being that I celebrated my birthday with the super new moon, I took much time to rest, and contemplate and meditate. And I did the very Libra thing, to be honest. And we're still in Libra season. And one of the things about Libra season, it's about relating. And it's about partnerships. And it's about aligning yourself to the right partnerships, to people that offer support, love, appreciation, and for you to also be that to yourself. Because in order for you to have healthy partnerships, you need to be in healthy alignment with yourself. You can't be belittling, being hard, being neglectful, not taking time for self-care. You cannot be doing those things. And that's the thing. There's a balance with Libra. A very, very balance between self and others. That's why it's the scales of balance, basically. How do you look after yourself and how do you take care of others? How do you relate to others? It's how do we connect to other people, but also connect to ourselves. And everything starts with you. Every relationship, every job, every financial situation, every single thing starts with you and then it extends outwards. And that is Libra season, the balance between yourself and other people. And here in this Libra super new moon, it was a very intense super new moon. And why we call it super new moon is because the moon is closest to the earth. We did have this super new moon with the Mars retrograde, Mars opposing in Aries, which is a cardinal energy, the opposite of Libra as well. And we also had a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, deep healing and transformation, seeing things too, because Scorpio is everything hidden. It's ruled by Mars, Scorpio as well, and Pluto. Mars, action, but also aggression. Pluto, death and transformation. Transformation is the healing. So what do we need to heal? So there was a lot of healing that happened during the super new moon. And the energy was heavy. It felt like almost like a full moon. That was the feeling of it. It felt like a full moon energy of actually having to sit and let go, surrender, surrender to everything that you felt throughout this year, because we are approaching the end of the year. And most importantly, we are going to be having one more super new moon in November. And then, we're going to also have a full moon in Taurus at the end of October, right? That'll be the full moon of this year. And then after that, in November will be the super new moon in November. And then towards the end of the month, we're going to have the lunar eclipse, which is our gateway portal to where we change our lives, where we enter an energy of what we want for the next 6 months, which is going into 2021, because we'll also be having a solar eclipse in December. So we are completely shifting our reality. So expect now, before we hit eclipse season, to go through the reset, letting go, surrendering, and realigning. Sometimes realigning to self, sometimes realigning when it comes to your relationships, and what that means to realign in your relationships. But let's start back with self. To realign to self is to start awakening to things about yourself. your worth, your value, your energy, what you put in, when do you need time to rest, when do you need time for self-care, what are all the things that you need? And you must know Libra is ruled by Venus. So it is an energy of love, but love for self, which we then extend to others. And then let's talk about the realigning when it comes to relationships. What kind of relationships do you want if you're not in a relationship? What kind of people do you want to work with? What kind of people do you want to connect to? Where you feel inspired, motivated. Even the people that we work with, we can't be working with people that are belittling, bullying, pushing, nagging, and having a lot of aggression. We will feel enslaved. We will feel run down. You know, whether that's in a relationship setting, a work setting, whatever setting, a friendship setting, any kind of setting. You must remember, Libra season is about relationships and partnerships. And it's ruled by Venus. So it's about being in relationships that you find support, that you find inspiration, that you're allowed to connect to the divine energy of Venus. By you also connecting to yourself and realizing your worth, by giving yourself the things that you need, by stating it. We're sometimes so afraid to even say what we want, what we need, what we feel is our true heart's desire. Venus, love, heart chakra. What is your heart desire? And you know, today I got asked a very important question about purpose. And you know, there's so much going on in the world. Abuse, trauma, children that are suffering, war, protests, people, the unrest of the world, starvation. And what does one do? What is the purpose to me? What is my purpose? And you know, what is the purpose? And it made me answer a very personal question about myself. Thank you, Raisa, for this beautiful question. It really is the energy of Libra, and it leads to everything. Back many, many years ago, especially when I was younger, I always wanted to do something. I always wanted to, you know, I'm a Libra. So I'm going to look at ways to love, to inspire, to be compassionate. It's what I feel. I can't hold back that feeling. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people find that when it comes to Libras, so beautiful, I just saw a beautiful bird at the window. A lot of people find when it comes to Libras that they find them that maybe Libras seem a bit guarded, judgmental, harsh, you know, cut off. And that's the duality too about Libra. It's about not being able to judge others on that, because people only hurt people from their own experience. I've been living for many years now, and I'm in my 30s, and I've come to that realization. I've been through my Saturn return, and that was my profound realization that people only do things that they feel robbed of themselves. If they feel robbed of love, they're not going to give you no love. If they feel violated, they might, you know, want to be closed off, or they might even do the violating themselves in the sense of taking their power back. And that's the duality in Libra season, to actually understand why people are the way they are. What is the cause and effect? A person don't just end up that way. There is something within them that is pushing them, a deep-seated anger, a deep-seated pain, a deep-seated suffering. So looking at the world, and obviously myself wanting to change it from a very young age, I went into, you know, where we do charitable work, where we offer ourselves, and I did that. And it's not that it didn't fulfill me, it did. But then I wanted to do more. I wanted to be a catalyst, you know. I even did protesting, like, you know, when there's things, when there's oppression in the world, when it's women violence, whether it's, you know, standing up for what you feel, political too. And I did that, but I literally was protesting and marching, and then it hit me. All of a sudden, me personally, I mean, there's nothing wrong with those things. There's no judgment here saying that that's wrong or right. Those things led me to something where I actually wanted to be a catalyst. And this is back to purpose and relating to others. It's where we realized, when I realized I was doing that, now the people that I was with, I noticed there was all this pent-up rage, all this pent-up frustration, and each one on the other side battling. That's Libra. It's always like, if you know a Libra, they're going to always find themselves in between one side and the other side, always torn between two things: work and home, partner and family, money and taking care of other people, finding their passion. Everyone is always caught in between something. And that was what I found. I found that I was standing on one side, each side always saying the other side is at fault. And everyone willing to take arms, everyone willing to push forward, and everyone just feeling so amped up. And what I started feeling in myself was, and as a spiritual person, which believes in cause and effect and the law of attraction, what we resist, what we push hard against, only pushes us back. So if you want peace, you can't go pushing for peace with more aggression. You're not going to get no peace. It's that simple. And this does not mean state healthy boundaries for yourself. Healthy boundaries are good. Healthy boundaries are not things that you want to participate in or people you want to connect to, because you know that they don't know where the line is, even if you define it. So you have to say, look, I can see you don't know where that line is. So this is not about boundaries, but this is about purpose. And those are beautiful causes. All causes are beautiful, whichever you stand for. But that's the thing about purpose. I found myself pushed more into wanting to be a catalyst, to change, to inspire, to wanting to heal. And that's what we go into in Scorpio season, mind you. Because once we had that Scorpio super moon, so we had the new moon now, the next new moon will happen in Scorpio. It will be aggressive because of that Mars aspect. And again, wanting to heal in November. So now, bringing it all back, it hit me that I wanted to be a catalyst, and that's when I changed. I wanted to see two sides to a story. I wanted to see why people hurt people. What is your pain without judgment? What is your pain without questioning it? Because we all have it. There isn't a soul that walks on this like physical experience on earth who doesn't go through some form of indifference, suffering, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, some angst within them. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to inspire people past that. I wanted to give something deeper. I wanted to go deeper. I wanted people to see the beauty, the wisdom in the pain of life. And that is what went and led me into life coaching and leading into all spiritual aspects. And this is so important for Libra season because it's about relating. It's about seeing the duality. You want peace and harmony? The way to find peace and harmony is not to get involved in conflict. To know that there will always be two sides to a story. To respect the boundaries that each side has. To see that each one has its own reason for its pain and suffering. And that can be hard sometimes. Because pain is never reasonable. Anyone that acts with pain is never being reasonable, are they? Have you ever seen someone hurt someone else and tell you, well, I was justified? And you're thinking, but you went a bit overboard there, but they feel justified. There's no understanding. So it made me look at myself. What do I want in my life to create peace and harmony? And that was it. It was a catalyst for change. And I went into Reiki, chakra balancing, crystals, cards, astrology, everything profound into the deeper understanding of human nature. And that is purpose. Everyone's looking and searching for purpose. Purpose is what you give to the world that inspires hope. Because when we inspire hope, and just looking at the word inspire, it comes from spirit. And you connect to the spirit regardless of the physical. Because when we look at the physical, we look at the indifference, the suffering, the pain. And when we connect to the spirit, you awaken something within another. You awaken their passion, their love. And you transmute that where they want to change. And that's what led me into teaching, where I wanted to connect to other people so that they can basically, whether it's advice, wisdom, whether it's an astrology reading, whatever it may be. And I'm grateful for every single one of you that connect to me for astrology readings, for coaching, for courses, for all these things. Because what I'm doing is inspiring hope. The hope of you connecting to your spirit so that you can inspire other people. And that is how we become the catalyst for change. And that's Libra, cardinal energy. It literally means change. It's a change of season. It's the change of season, change into fall, change into spring. Right? That is it. It's the change. It's about being that change. And how do we change? We change by being a catalyst. By not, just providing for another, because a lot of Libras feel, let's just provide. Let me just be of service and provide this and provide that. It's not about the providing. It's about the inspiring. And when you inspire a person, you take them to new heights. And it's the most blessed, rewarding thing you can do for a soul and for yourself, because when you connect to spirit, when you inspire, you connect to a holy, sacred place governed by a divine, godly energy that is past this physical realm, and show something within that person to themselves and to you, to move and to lead in their own lives and to share a part of their souls with the world. And when we do that, just being that person, and that's why I say I try to do that with my readings, with the astrology, with these videos, is to inspire. And to inspire is to pass something, to shift the reality for another, where they awaken to remember who they are, that they are a divine being, regardless of the injustice each soul goes through. And there's not a soul that doesn't go through some form of injustice. There's not a soul that doesn't know what it feels like to be neglected, abandoned, abused, physically, mentally, or emotionally, or in any way. But you push past that in that person, or they push past it through their empowerment, and they want to make a difference. And then they start living their lives. And this beautiful, beautiful painting, given to me on my birthday with the super new moon by Ingi. Right, let me just move so you can see. It's a beautiful sunset there. And it's in Port Alfred. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful because it inspires hope. Because as the dark is coming, there's still light of the sun setting. And it's just so hopeful. It inspires that. And that is it. And why did she gift it to me? Because we had conversations. And in our conversations, they moved to inspiration. They moved to a godly place, a divine place, a spiritual place. And that is spirit. And I am so grateful for each and every single one of you, every single message, every single reading, every single thing. All of you have all touched me in some way. And I've touched you too. And we've touched each other's hearts to love more, to live the Libra energy of Venus, to live in that energy of transmutation, to live in that energy of being the change and living a life with purpose, full of people with passion. You know what the beautiful thing about creativity is, and that's why, Libra is ruled by Venus. It's beauty, because beauty is creativity. To look at something like a beautiful tree, a sunset, to see someone handcraft something is a part of themselves that have went into that. This beautiful photograph is a part of someone's soul, gifted to me. And I will treasure this beautiful, art forever, because that is life. Life is art. Life is finding what is it within your spirit. Is it singing? Is it writing? Is it sharing? Is it giving a hug, speaking to a friend and giving them something to uplift them through a situation, just some wise words, not being in it with them constantly, but just, you got this. Look at how far you've come. And that's what's something we need to remember this Libra season. Look at how far we've come this 2020. What makes the world is every single one of us in it. And if we can try, I'm not saying every day is going to be our best day, but at least try to be that embodiment of hope and inspiration and love, you never know who you can touch. And when you do that, it will touch you too. To heal yourself, you heal others. And to heal others, you heal yourself. And we are all divinely connected. And that's what I try to show every single one with these astrology readings every single month, is basically we are all connected. And that's why new moons and full moons are so powerful. It becomes a collective energy. We are also divinely connected. And we need to understand that. We need to see that. We need to move to that place of empowerment and respect ourselves and respect others. Love ourselves. Love others in order to create what we want to see in the world. Does this mean that all the badness and everything that's dark is going to leave? No. But it's an opportunity for the light to come in. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate all of you. Do like, subscribe, and let's inspire each other to do beautiful things. Let's live with purpose. I'm very good with assisting people with inspiring them to live their purpose. Because I believe in tapping into your soul, tapping into your heart, and what is it that you love to share in the world. And that's what the coaching is about, and that's what everything is about. That's what I'm about. And thank you all for the support, and live your best and blessed life.